Hey there, Mac friends. I just downloaded a tool called Reconfigured and wanted to document it and tell you about it. So here, I was listening to a podcast from some data scientists, and they've created a tool called Reconfigured. And I guess the background on this was, hey, when we're doing data science work, we don't have the same kind of Git, you know, commits that we can go back to and refer to for all the work we've done. We need a place to record the work we've done as we do it, and collaborate as a team. And I've always been thinking about in this new world of AI, hey, why doesn't my task manager just create all the tasks for me when I give it a simple prompt? And it's kind of what it does here, I think. So it seemed very interesting to me. I'm going to just type something here. So I'm working on a project. So I'm gonna say, create a stream deck plugin that ejects all externally mounted disks. Okay, command return. And so the nice thing about this is they have this test you can do with it on their website, which I thought was a great little feature. Um, and it comes out with it comes out with some tasks here. I don't know why it's got like Russian here. Interesting, huh? But anyway, so it doesn't look perfect, but it's a good little test. So what you can do then is you can sign up, you can log in. So let's do all that. So when you're logging in, it's gonna it has a handy macOS client, which I mean it's not that native. It's definitely a web app in the macOS client, and we'll go through that later. But so I've downloaded the client. I can sign in with my username and email. So we'll do that. And then I'm gonna have to check my email. I'll probably cut out this, fill in the verification code. All right. Verification code is filled in. We're logged in. We've downloaded it. Next thing after you download, you get the standard disk image. You can drag it in your applications folder and you can launch it, right? And it's a similar login thing where you need to get the code and log in to the app because it's a web app. Here, probably Electron, something like that. Okay, and then unfortunately, I'm missing the task that I had. So the idea here is, you get your task in here. And so let's just type this again. Vibe code a stream deck plugin that ejects all externally mounted disks. Okay, and then I think command return. AI assistant is loaded. So, oh, wow. Okay, so now it's starting to write code for me. So that is not really what I expected. I was hoping it would create the task for me. Instead, it started to write the code. Okay, surprised on that one. Let's try it again. So we have a chat, we have a focus, we have an organize, and a new quest. Okay, so I think one thing that I heard about on their podcast when they were talking about this is they've tried to use gamification in this, and so each task is called a quest here. So I guess maybe I want to create a new quest. So let's try this again. Vibe code a stream deck plugin that ejects all externally mounted disks. Okay. So we have some things here. So add approaches, add problem. So I'm gonna play around here. Let's see what happens when I say add problem. Oh, it's a template here. Problem when I want to unplug my laptop, it takes too long to eject each disk one by one. Okay, so I think that's the problem. Add approaches. So I guess we can say approaches are use the disk util command line tool and create a bash script to identify all currently mounted disks and eject them. Use the Stream Deck SDK and CLI to create and to update the Stream Deck screen showing how many screen button showing how many external disks are mounted, and then allow me to press the button and call the bash script to eject the drives. Something like that, right? Okay. And then we'll do success criteria. So this is considered completed when a Git repository is published on my personal GitHub with a packaged Stream Deck plugin, and the plugin is submitted to the Stream Deck App Store. Okay. Actually, they call it Marketplace, so I will not try to confuse the AI with that. I don't want it to create an app. Okay, so let's create this and see what happens now. So I did all this that it asked me to do, and then it still has objectives and entries. So I would say that's a little bit disappointing, because I thought it could figure that out for me. Now it looks like there's this, I know that this target means that this is the current quest, because I listened to it on the documentation. I've seen the videos of it. So then, okay, so it's not really what I expected, unfortunately. The website kind of does a better job than the app with the demo we had done. I will then put in, create a Stream Deck plugin, but I don't really want to write everything again. And okay, what's the new entry do? I don't know the difference between objectives and entries. Create a Stream Deck plugin. Okay, so the AI is not. Okay, that put it in a today view. There's also tags, and I went to this organize tab, so I think it has kind of like, okay, here's how you need to organize your stuff. So it shows me that there's missing tags, and it takes me there. Then I can tap assign, or I can press assign tags. And so then, yeah, I'd already put in coding tag and a open source tag, and we can do Stream Deck tag as well. Okay. So yeah, we've done that organization task. I guess we can go back to focus. And we do have this here in focus now. And we have a conversation. So I guess we can say, what should I do next? Okay, so it gives me research tasks, set up the Stream Deck SDK, and write the bash script. Okay, and it's asking me a question. So what happens when I click Save Summary? So I don't know what that does. It's a shame. Maybe the summary is here. Okay, so it's got some entries here, but it doesn't really connect the summary to the quest. I have a history function, so that history is there. Okay, so I can create a new chat. I don't understand this separate chat thing, but it's a pro feature, but I guess I would have expected to be able to demo that. Okay, so then I have quest by status. So that's work in progress, not done yet. Okay. I also feel that my objective has disappeared here as well, so that's disappointing. I was just kind of hoping that this was something I could use to put in something very high level and get a to-do list out of it, a project and a to-do list under that project. And that's not really what happened here. It was a lot more promising when I first reviewed it. My understanding is it's not supposed to be a task manager, but it is supposed to allow you to record what you're working on and what you found, and then share that with the team. And so that's why it has an organization section here. So I might not be able to get like the full functionality from it when I'm just experimenting and I don't have an organization built. So we can go to the website and see what it says about organizations here. So it's just my personal workspace, right? And then you have members. The members have a profile, so I think you can collaborate. I think one of the talking points they gave was like, as you work on this with multiple people, you end up having a kind of knowledge base. But they also stated it's not a replacement for a wiki. And so, I'm wondering how this really fits in. Definitely I'm not recording my work journal in a spot, and I was also kind of looking for a work journal. But I'm not sure that this gave me the value I would have expected, by just using it for 5 minutes. A lot of this is I can kind of do this in Grok or ChatGPT's chat interface and basically have a lot of the same functionality and use that as a work journal. And then it doesn't help me vibe code, and so I have to use a separate AI for vibe coding, and I would have to copy and paste between that, so I'm not sure that helps either. Maybe it's just not targeted at me. Okay, so I guess we've gone through this. I've also checked the billing section, and it's 25 euros a month. They're on the MCP bandwagon. There's a team plan for more members. So it's early days for this product. So I think it's something maybe that I might keep an eye on and see if there's potential to use later on. It's maybe not there yet, but something that could become an interesting product if they add more features to it and really get some funding or something. I did like the idea of kind of calling things a quest and trying to figure out like how to complete a quest, and instead of to-dos and projects, and maybe that sounded a little bit more like, oh, that's kind of cool. And I did see they had some templates here, so I did use these templates before. So I said, oh, project plan, right? But then like I did get to this, and I'm like, whoa, I don't want to fill out all this crap, So I was kind of my reaction was, well, why can't it be some AI assisted thing to fill this out, or I just give it a project name, it tries to fill this out, I edit, and I don't have to start from scratch. So I think there's still some room for improvement here. It's maybe quite MVP, but yeah, that's called Reconfigured, and if you're interested, it's reconfigured.io. Appreciate you sticking around for this overview of a new app I have never used. Thanks for staying this long. Goodbye, Mac friends. See you next time.